Sami Zayn acknowledged Jey Uso. What the hell is happening with this story? Why is it so damn good? What are we going to do with Sami Zayn? Yes, I want Cody at WrestleMania versus Roman Reigns. But at the same time, this is so damn good. This is too good to be wasted. What is the plan? Can we get both? Or does that ruin the whole point? Welcome back to another episode of Greatness of SmackDown. How are you guys doing today? As usual, SmackDown was a banger. Every segment involving this storyline is just must-watch television. It's not your typical babyface versus heel storyline. There's also Jey, and we have no idea what the hell is going on in Jey's head. The show kicked off with Paul Heyman holding the Undisputed Championship. He's here to drop some wisdom. He doesn't offer predictions, he rather offers spoilers. The Island of Relevancy is being attacked by Sami Zayn and Cody Rhodes. Zayn is unhinged. The first spoiler is that Zayn is not here tonight. He asks WWE Universe if they can see Sami Zayn as a champion. He then talked about Cody Rhodes and said he didn't know Dusty raised an idiot for his son. Personal? Things between them could not be more personal. The WWE Undisputed Championship is the crowning jewel of the bloodline. He says without the two titles, there is no bloodline, Paul Heyman or Roman Reigns. Zayn suddenly appears behind Heyman. It really looked like Paul Heyman is about to get attacked, but Zayn was just here to talk. He looked at the WrestleMania sign, which is kinda interesting. Then he asked for a microphone and tells Heyman to calm down. I won't hurt you. If I wanted to, I could have done so by now. No one is in the ring to protect you. But if it were a month ago, there would be. Why is this the case? Well, Reigns' days as Universal Champion are numbered. I left, Jey Uso left. What will Jimmy do next? Will he side with Roman Reigns or his own twin? What happens with Solo when he realizes he can think for himself? He then asks Heyman if there will be life after Reigns. The bloodline is on its way out of WWE. I know you're not doing predictions but rather spoilers. So here's your spoiler. Roman Reigns has 8 days left as WWE Champion. You don't need to worry about Cody Rhodes. I don't know about you guys, but for the first time in his career probably, I felt like Sami Zayn could be a world champion. I believe he's a threat to Roman Reigns. It's really hard to accomplish, but somehow, some way, it's working. Like I've said, this is one of these situations where it's so good it's actually bad. This man needs a proper payoff. Hopefully at Elimination Chamber, if that's the end, we can leave being satisfied with the story. We saw Sheamus and Drew McIntyre versus Hit Row. I was still kinda hopeful about Hit Row, but it seems like WWE are not doing anything special with them. I thought maybe they're gonna roast the WWE roster, the crowd. No, they're doing the same thing except they're bad guys now. And it's always fun seeing Sheamus and Drew McIntyre working together. It's gonna be really interesting to see which one is going to turn on which. Hopefully none of them, because that would break my heart now. As you can imagine, Sheamus and Drew McIntyre won very quickly. But what the hell is happening with Triple H lately? He buried Baron Corbin, now he kinda buried Hit Row. Okay, maybe I'm exaggerating, but it seems like he's kinda given up on some wrestlers. Then we see the Viking Raiders, and they told Sheamus and Drew McIntyre that Valhalla begins. Yeah, I don't know, still not feeling it. We go backstage and we see Jimmy Uso on the phone looking for Jey Uso. He tells Jey to call back when he gets the message. Lacey Evans versus your favorite WWE superstar, Carmen Harris. You know what's a big red flag for a WWE wrestler? Getting repackaged every single year. Yes, it was a squash match and yes, Lacey won. We see Paul Heyman and Jimmy Uso. And of course the issue is they don't know if Jimmy will have to defend the championships alone against Braun Strowman and Ricochet, but Jimmy is confident that Jey will be there. That was another interesting thing about this SmackDown. Will we even see Jey Uso? Sonya is complaining to Adam Pearce about not being in the Women's Elimination Chamber match. Chelsea walks in to complain as well, but Adam shows them balls. If you want to prove yourselves, you will team up to take on Elimination Chamber participants Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez. Suck it. Adam showed them big bam boom bam bigelow bamboonchika of a balls. So then we saw the SmackDown Tag Team Championship match, the Uso versus Braun Strowman and Ricochet. Samantha was about to introduce one Uso, but then we see Jey Uso in the crowd. Jey was in this match. So this was a really fun match, like I've said before. Ricochet and Braun Strowman seems like it wouldn't work, but it kinda does. I like the entrance, I like the moveset, everything is pretty cool. Very two different superstars, but they do have something in common. They want to win the tag team championships and they're both bald. So this was a really fun match, no issues between Jimmy and Jey Usos. And look at that finish, boy! Yes, the Usos retained the WWE Tag Team Championships. So it all seems fine. Seems like there's no bad blood between Jimmy and Jey Uso. They hugged, they probably even kissed, I'm not sure, but it's all alright. The problem is, it's not the same with Jey and Roman Reigns, but now we know, once we get these championship matches, Jey will be there. We just don't know what's happening with the rest of the bloodline. Again, backstage, it seems like everything is fine between Jey and Jimmy Usos. Jey says, I would never leave you alone. But let me ask you something. It's been hell since you've been gone. You in? And Jey Uso doesn't have an answer. We see Natalya. This was a really bizarre promo. She called out Shayna Baszler and kept calling her a Ronda Rousey knockoff. Shayna Baszler got offended. She made it pretty clear that she's not a Ronda Rousey knockoff. Her accomplishments speak for itself. And then we see Ronda. So yes, Ronda made her WWE return. Shayna Baszler stopped Ronda from attacking Natalya, but then they teamed up and attacked Natalya. Then we saw Shotzi for the save, and of course that didn't go as planned. So they're obviously building towards Ronda Rousey versus Shayna Baszler at WrestleMania, which is definitely a dream match, unfortunately not for a championship. Then again, does it even need a championship? Probably not. I do feel like it was kinda forced. When was the last time we even heard her being called Ronda Rousey 2.0? When did that actually happen on WWE television? Jey Uso met Sami Zayn for the first time after Royal Rumble. Zayn says, I can't imagine that Roman Reigns will let you forget that you walked out at Royal Rumble. I am on the verge of taking down Reigns, and you don't have to go down with the ship. I just want to let you know, I acknowledge you. Jey says you shouldn't be here, but we got the fist bump. This is cinema right here. This was beautiful. It still pains me. It hurts. This right here, ladies and gentlemen, it hurts. He just acknowledged Jey Uso. This is friendship right here. They've been through a lot. Jey was the one who doubted Sami Zayn. But once Sami proved his loyalty, now he has to choose between Sami and his family. And it's a tough decision to make because he knows his family is wrong. God, I hope Jey is not turning on Sami. I'm invested in this shit, man. This is still real to me, damn it. LA Knight says he's done with Bray Wyatt. It's time for the future, and the future is LA Knight. And hopefully the future is bright because LA Knight is absolutely amazing, fits on the main roster perfectly. Unfortunately, I don't see anything for LA Knight at WrestleMania. So then we saw the tag team match. As you can imagine, if you have Chelsea Green in a match, the result is pretty obvious. They did lose the match. Raquel Rodriguez and Liv Morgan picked up the W. Is she really, like I've said, just Eva Marie 2.0? Madcap Moss says he's going to win the #1 contenders match and he appreciates the attire. Sure about that, bud? Of course he's not gonna win, right? Right? Charlotte talked about Rhea Ripley and she basically said there's levels to this. Is Rhea on your level? It's gonna take more than 3 years to be on my level. I had my doubts on this storyline, but at this point, after Rhea's promo especially, I would rather see Charlotte versus Rhea than Rhea versus Belair. This already has a decent story. So then we saw the Fatal 4-Way match. Santos Escobar, Rey Mysterio, Madcap Moss, and Karrion Kross. This was a really fun match. I guess it seemed like the result is pretty obvious. It's either Rey Mysterio or Karrion Kross, but looking at it logically, it's probably Rey Mysterio. I mean, who else is going to win the match? Madcap Moss? I don't think so. So like I've said, the match itself was pretty fine, but it did feel obvious. So I'm not sure how to feel about the result. Maybe it should have been obvious. What I'm basically trying to say is, Madcap Moss won the match. So yeah, I would say this match kinda shocked me. Gunther versus Riddick Moss. Madcap Moss, he's mad now. I was kinda shocked. I think next week's result is not gonna be very shocking. Something tells me Gunther is retaining the championship. Jimmy is watching SmackDown and he gets approached by Paul Heyman. I just got off the phone with Roman Reigns, and Reigns has instructed you and your brother to stay home next week. Sometimes you see things on television you just don't see live. Oh, I know exactly what Paul is talking about. On television we see something we don't wanna see, a Natalya promo. Or, you know, Sami talking to Jey Uso. I I love when they actually acknowledge that this is a television show. They can literally watch what's happening behind the scenes when it's on television. Definitely a bizarre way to end SmackDown, but I would say quite a cliffhanger, right? So again, people, another banger of an episode. This story is unbelievable, one that will be remembered forever. Forever the great one, you say? I don't know what happened right here. Thank you for watching this video, the great one. Peace, love, and hugs. It's been a pleasure.